Hey, it's Mary Sheila, and it's been a while, and hello everybody. This is my dear friend, Catherine Abbey Rich. She is an herbalist who I've known for, I think, over 25 years now. And we went seaweed harvesting this morning with the big full moon and the very low tide. And we wanted to make Abby's medicine soup.
Well, it's glorious just being at the ocean at dawn to behold the amazing sight of the lowest tide of the year, which it was this morning at 6:30, and we knew that there were going to be a lot of important medicines at the beach where we were going, and we were right. And so we decided to share the adventure with you and to introduce you to some of our favorite plants of the sea, the medicinal herbs, the sea vegetables.
Yeah, so we're just gonna make Abby's famous medicine soup. And we have a couple seaweeds we harvested today. This is Kombu. And we are just going to, we actually laid this out today to dry. It would need a little more drying tomorrow before we would put it in a jar. But we're gonna just rehydrate this right now, right?
Yeah. This is Laminaria digitata. Digitata means fingers. And actually, if you saw the whole plant, this is just a finger on the hand. And so we cut it very judiciously so that we could see the plant regenerate for the next season. That's very important to us, especially now because there is some problems with the kelp beds and the life forms in the kelp beds. So we're really trying to teach conservation as we teach the sea vegetables as well.
Yeah.
So this is like something amazing, the kombu. It has been used for centuries as the flavoring in miso soup, besides miso, and the flavoring of something rich and delicious and brothy. So kombu, good for so many things, from extracting phlegm from the lungs and soothing the skin and many issues which we'll talk about.
Yeah, so we're gonna hydrate this, right? Rehydrate this in the water?
Yeah, so we're gonna hydrate this, and it should really grow about 10 times the size of when it's dried, but it's not quite dried yet.
And can I put the water on for the stock?
Yeah, so put the water on for the stock, and we're gonna introduce a few other fabulous creatures of botany. This is dried fucus or bladderwrack. This is a very renowned medicinal, probably the most revered sea vegetable that there is because of so many of its applications, from thyroid support to adipose dissolve.
Yeah, it can help dissolve things in the body. It's got a really good medicinal track record. You can look it up, but it's one that grows on the rocks, and when we were harvesting today, I was munching away. It's really delicious when it's fresh. And let's hydrate that so we can take a look see what it looks like.
So this has like a forked situation and kind of tough and almost like kind of alligator skinish when it's dried. And when it's softened and moistened, it's entirely different. And so that's a fucus or bladderwrack, and this, believe it or not, is what you call nori. It does not grow in little flat squares like paper. It grows like this, and it is so cute, and it tastes delicious. And I think that the real nori made in Japan is chopped up and made into kind of the paper-like form that we know it, but on its own, it's terrific. There you go. and I'm going to soak that. You're going to see how different that is.
And why are you soaking it in separate water instead of the soup pot first?
Well, I understand that it needs soaking before it needs heating.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Because that's what I learned. And so we soak it maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes tops, and then take that whole soak water and we can add it to the pot of water. Basically, I put in as much water as I want soup.
Yeah.
Seems intelligent. Way to figure it out.
Okay, so what else are we going to add to our soup pot?
Well, I like red onion, so I have chopped red onion here. Red onion is specifically for lung, for respiratory, for cleansing lung, for building lung, and of course adding nutrients and flavor. And carrots.
We just basically grabbed what we had in
What's
the refrigerator.
fridge.
Yeah.
And we'll put the carrots in, and then any vegetables that we want to put in. My rule of thumb really is cook it until the vegetable you want the most crisp is at that point, and then just finish it.
Yeah.
So everything that you put in, it can be any kind of vegetable. We love putting vegetables of the rainbow, all the colors, then you're getting all of the nutrients, right?
Yeah.
And then once it has let's put it this way, we soak it, then we bring it to a boil, and then we cook it until everything is tender and luscious, and then we turn off the heat. And when we turn off the heat, that's when we put in our fresh herbs. So girls like us, we have nettles in the garden, right?
Well, we have them
or dried in the cupboard.
Yeah.
At my house, we have them fresh in the garden. And she has it too, but a little further away. So nettles, and then any fresh herbs that you get at the supermarket. So it could be anything from thyme, oregano, parsley, cilantro. You can make what flavor you want, and just rosemary. We love rosemary, and all we have to do is strip it and
So should we start
Put
adding
it
these
in.
veggies in?
yeah,
Okay, so
into
I'm
the
gonna
pot.
add the carrots
Yeah,
and the onions.
I'll
Lots of
I'll
onions.
strip the herbs.
And do we even need to strip them? Because are we gonna eat the veggies or?
Why not?
Okay. Well, so then I'm gonna add, we also have some asparagus tips. Should we put those?
Those are not the tips. Those are the bottom.
The bottoms.
Yeah,
No, okay.
they're tough.
We're not gonna put those in there. No.
Opinionated me. Anyway, I'm taking the rosemary off the stem. You could leave it on the stem and just pull it out when you want. However you like it, whatever's most comfortable. But parsley and rosemary and garlic, of course, garlic and onion, and whatever vegetables are interesting to you, which ones you like. It could be anything from pumpkin to zucchini or anything. So there's a few things done over there.
And basically we're just making a really beautiful broth. We can either pour the vegetables out or we can eat the vegetables. And then we'll put these in a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then and I'm gonna pour the water in too.
Yeah,
Okay. Can I do it now or?
Yeah.
All right.
why not? Who's counting?
Who's the boss?
Yeah.
All right. So basically,
You can't make a mistake. We're making soup, folks. What can we do wrong? Another thing is over the years, so we've made in herb classes and seaweed safaris and other herbal trips that we have done together. I usually encourage people who come to that class to get like 2-cup mason jars or something, and fill their soup in mason jars, label it, put it in the freezer, and then in November you're not feeling so well, you're feeling a little sick, you think, yeah, I got that seaweed medicine soup in the freezer, and you haul it out, and especially if you've had the pleasure of going to the ocean to gather your seaweed, which is another topic, but which we also are going to share with you, because actually tomorrow morning we're going again, and we're going to get something called wakame, and that's another very special and important seaweed that is important for us to have nutritionally and medicinally, and also because it's special fun to gather it. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we're going to just let this simmer. Once it gets hot, we'll let it simmer for how long about?
Bring it to a boil.
I know, and then we'll let it simmer. And how long will we let it simmer?
It depends how long you want to cook the vegetables and
Okay.
extract the power of the seaweed.
Okay.
And so you can just, let it go and check in with the vegetables that we're going to be putting in.
Okay.
And
Once they're nice and tender and good quality in your mouthfeel, then you're done, right?
Yeah.
Good.
It's not complicated. And then, if you want, in terms of salt quality, so we said onion and garlic and herbs in terms of flavor, but for me, I'm not supposed to have too much salt in my body. Then I always use Bragg's liquid aminos. Then we have that other aminos that's here also, right?
The coconut aminos.
The coconut aminos, which are terrific, or soy sauce,
Miso. And,
or miso, soy sauce, all of them. So,
I was just wanting to show you how
Yeah.
big it got. Look at that. And you can even see the beautiful green color that it is. Look at that.
get closer.
Green, beautiful green color. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is the kombu. And you know what's crazy about kombu? You know it's kombu when you're in the sea, when you take a bite of it, and it makes your mouth all like mucilaginous. It's very like mucusy, so it's very hydrating. And people put it a lot of times in, I'm trying to break it off. People put it a lot of times in, when you cook some beans, it helps make the beans cook better, and it will help reduce gas.
All right.
And it's a very distinct flavor. And you can also like pickle this. I've had it pickled and it is amazing. But it is such a nutrient dense, wonderful. And if you only had a few pieces, like you bought it somewhere or harvested, I mean, you could just use a little piece and still get a lot of medicine from it.
Not only that, it can be used more than once. So if I use a piece about 3 inches long of kombu or wakame, and then I hang it up on a little hook in the kitchen to dry, and I can use it two more times. It'll still be giving up its medicine and its terrific flavor. So that's also good to know.
And then last but not least, I'll just show you this.
Oh, yeah.
This is, and you can see the mucilage. It's not hair. Look at that mucilage. Woo! Can you see that?
Schleim, we call it in
Schleim, yeah.
Germany, mucus is called Schleim, and I just love that word.
So this is the bladderwrack, and this is one of the most medicinal seaweeds that there is, and it is really, really high in iodine. And in the fall or this later summer, it'll get these big, like oxygen pockets. It's the reproduction pockets.
Those are the bladders.
The bladders, yeah, and it's really high in oxygen at that point. And but this is a great medicine, and it's not like when it's dry, it's not like you're like, oh my God, let me have more of that. It's so delicious. But when it's fresh on the ocean, it's really good. So I'm gonna put this back in the soup. You can see it's already letting off its goodness. But we're gonna just let this simmer for a little bit. Then, I mean, I have a feeling if we're gonna really store this, I will probably strain my part of it. And just have it more as a broth.
I think that's a good idea either way.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do some as a broth and some as a soup.
Yeah, exactly. I just know, yeah. So, and then, when you cook rice or if you make beans, you can use your broth, you can store some. Like, I love what you just said. You can make a little miso paste with it. Yeah, so many great things you could do.
Yeah.
So anyways, and then in a little bit, when we're just about done, we're going to throw the herbs in, and then we'll have a nice herbal aroma and get a lot of medicine that way.
Yeah.
Medicine soup in like 10 minutes. All right.
Happy seaweeding.